you like card games? And do you like furry? If so, how about a card game built by furries for furries? Join me today as we're interviewing the one and only team behind the up-and-coming card game, Royalty. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi there, I'm Kame the Turtle, and you are watching Turtle Time. Join me today is the team behind the up-and-coming card game Royalty. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Lazuli.
What up? I'm Lazy Studio.
What is something you guys would be known for outside of Royalty?
For me, it's just mainly dance and just online social media content.
For me, I am an artist. That's pretty much all I do. Some people know me for a little bit of dance stuff that I've done in the furry fandom, but primarily I just do a lot of artwork. I do comics and all sorts of characters and concept design and everything in between.
Interesting. Now, a big question a lot of people would have about this is, what is Royalty in the first place?
Royalty CG is a party-style TCG. Think Pokemon meets Mario Party, where it has the TCG aspect where it can be competitive. There's booster packs, so where you can get booster packs and switch up your deck. One deck plays 2 to 6 players, and the party element comes from our quest cards.
Interesting. Who was the one who came up with the idea behind Royalty?
So Royalty actually stemmed from her original brand and product. She used to do Crown Feline captures, and it was a big part of her social media content, and she would do clothing and embroidery, and she just had fun little products like that, as well as some stickers. So we pushed a little bit further and we're like, well, how can we make this bigger? So we started making collectible art cards, and it just dawned on us, like, why don't we turn this into an actual game rather than just being some nice artwork for our character? So after sitting down for a good bit of time, her and I actually put it together pretty quickly and then did lots of play testing for months with a bunch of people, and eventually Royalty CG was born from that.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. What do you think is the closest one-to-one existing card game out there currently to compare to Royalty?
That's kind of a tough one. We claim this, we're not 100% sure. We've done some research, but we think we're the first party style TCG. There obviously are TCGs that are somewhat similar, and there's some party games that are similar, but we think we're the first of this kind. That's obviously why we kind of compare it to Pokemon meets Mario Party, because it takes so many elements from TCGs and from party games. Ironically, one of the inspirations behind even wanting to do a party style game was we played Coup with some friends. That's C-O-U-P, and I think it was an E on the end, I'm not sure. But it was really fun, and we really enjoyed how we could just like sit down and play with friends, and we wanted that for TCGs.
Interesting. By the way, before we dive too much further into this, there's actually round 2 on this interview. We did do an interview at Bewhiskered 2026, but the audio on that was foobar.
Wasn't good enough.
Yeah, didn't make the cut. Didn't help any that we tried to record in a very crowded area.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lot of foot traffic.
It's fine, everything's fine. There's no foot traffic now. I mean, I feel like at any moment one of the cats is gonna come like knocking on my door, but that's besides.
Speaking of, I know a recent addition to the Royalty card game was Companion. What's the inspiration behind those?
Well, I wanted my cat in the game. Well, I wanted all my cats in the game. But, I don't know, just have, like, when you go on an adventure, you always need a cute little companion with you. And it kind of just makes sense. So we royaltyified our pets.
Royaltyified is crazy.
Royaltyified our pets. All 4 of our cats are now in the game. But we want to put other people's pets in the game as well.
That'd be interesting to see in the future. And to paraphrase a famous game line, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this with you.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of cards are available to be played in Royalty right now?
So there's actually 3 kinds of cards currently in the game.
There might be a 4th coming.
True.
Maybe.
Depends on when this comes out. It may or may not have dropped a couple of hints, but we shall see. Currently, there are Your Character Here cards. That's our main bread and butter that everybody really enjoys. That's how you get yourself in the game. You can be in other roles, but that's the primary role that most people get into. There are role cards, and that's what you use to play the game. You play those against each other during the battle to try to win your bid. And then there are quest cards, and that's what makes it so party-oriented. You can have something like Pickpocket, where if somebody's not looking and you steal a coin, you get to keep that coin, so it breaks the usual meta of how usual TCGs work.
Or Cursed Boys.
Oh,
That's
Cursed Boys.
One of my least favorites.
That's the cursed card of the game currently.
Interesting. And hopefully I never have to go up against Cursed Voice because I'm tone deaf.
Yeah, it's a doozy.
How can the casual fan who just wants to collect the cards tell which cards are the rares versus the commons?
So that's actually really something we wanted to do differently. Usually in normal TCGs, as most may or may not know, there are markers on the card that show whether it is a common, uncommon, rare, or super rare in some cases. We wanted to avoid that completely and put the rarity in the hands of the beholder, or eye in the beholder. So we don't actually have a rarity system. However, there are still chase cards, and there are cards that are harder to get a hold of, such as our Kickstarter card. There were only 50 made, and you can find a rough relative guideline on like how rare a card is. But since there are characters in this game that belong to other people, we wanted it to be determined by, do you like the artwork? Is it a full card art? Is it a holo? Is it a special textured holo? And just how powerful. Card? Yeah, and just how powerful the card feels. So it's really up to the people who collect the cards to gauge how rare they feel a card is.
I guess there would be 4 card types.
Oh, Roll Plus cards, yeah. So Roll Plus cards are like a evolution, if you will, of the Roll cards. You still require the Roll card to play it. It's just a expanded upon version of the Roll card.
Interesting. And of course, it depends upon the order on which you play the Roll and the Roll Plus.
Yes, correct.
You said earlier that other people's characters are part of this game. How does that work?
I mean, with each expansion, we have a certain amount of slots that we open up that are available. Originally, it started out with just, people could only get YCH cards, which was why we originally named it like YCH, your character here. But we have since opened it up to where people can get quest cards and roll cards. And we have a certain amount for each expansion, and people can, commission a card and actually have their character card be obtainable in that certain expansion. So for Popstars and Pirates, let's say someone got a card commissioned for the pirate, or you can request like whether they wanted Popstars or Pirates. So if someone said Pirates, then their card is only obtainable through that pirate expansion.
Interesting. How does it work for character rights? I know some people worry about that.
So character rights we actually include in the commission form. When you're filling out the commission form, there's actually a whole little contracted list that we put there, basically giving us licensing rights to sell just this card. We do not own your character. We do not own the rights to your character. We only own this card.
Not just the card, with the artwork on the card.
Yeah, the artwork.
Yeah.
That way we're allowed to sell the card, and we can promote the card and use the artwork on our site, and also share the artwork with prints and stuff like that. That way we can actually get the card into the booster packs for everybody else to enjoy.
Yeah. We can potentially make prints and coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the character rights still remain with you. We just own that one piece of artwork.
Interesting. If someone gets a character printed for, let's say, Popstars and Pirates, and a new set comes out, are they guaranteed to have a slot for that set as well?
So with each expansion that comes out, you would have to apply and get another commission slot if you wanted to have another card in there. We do have special promo packs, or we sell cards as singles, so your card will be in rotation. It stays in rotation for a full year as long as that expansion pack or booster pack is still available. After 1 year, that booster pack will come off of shelves and will not be produced anymore. However, you still can order your own card and trade it, sell it, whatever you'd like to do with it. But as for each expansion, you do have to reapply to get another commission slot.
Interesting. So for those who weren't paying attention, just because you got a card printed for a previous set does not guarantee you a new card in the next set.
Yeah, it's all first come and first serve.
What would happen if somebody who got a card printed in the previous set was arrested for a serious crime?
So we actually have something set up for that, and we were going to announce that pretty soon actually, because we've had this question a few times and people are like, oh, it's all fun and games until someone gets arrested or canceled or something. So what we actually do is we want to turn negative things into a positive. So let's say someone got arrested for hurting an animal per se. Maybe they kicked their dog or would abuse their animal in some kind of way. What we do is we take character was on, we discontinue that card, it will no longer be in production anymore. Any cards that are already out there, they stay out there. And we run a sale on any cards that are still available. So let's say John Doe. So we take John Doe's card put it on sale. All money made from that sale goes directly to a charity of our choice. We'll usually choose something that's actually the opposite of what happened. So in this case, if it was an animal abuse case, we would find a charity that helps with rescue animals or animals that are victims of abuse. That way we can turn something negative into a positive. And this also lets us find a way to get the cards out there and find a way to give back. Once that's done, the character will not be in rotation anymore. The character goes retired. But that's also useful because then people can still finish their collection, and anybody that buys a card can do what they want with it, whether it's throw it in the trash or just give it to their friend who's actually trying to finish the set. Or if they just want to keep it in their collection and just put a big old red X on it, they can do whatever they want with that card once it's out of rotation.
Fair. What has been the hardest part to do with making royalty?
Putting up with each other.
Of course you have to go there.
Yeah, low-key, it has been really hard working not just with her, but my brother as well, because all three of us work very differently. And I think our biggest problem has actually been communication, because somebody will be working on this, I'll be working on this, my brother's working on this, and then nobody told my brother that this is finished, or that this website needs updating, or that this order's running, and I didn't tell Lazuli, oh, this order's finished, can you update this? So I actually think communication and meeting deadlines has been probably one of the hardest things for us.
Interesting. And for future sets, what's the process for creating a new set?
So sets are actually really interesting. We've only just recently finished how we want to do it every single time. It's been a learning process for us. Mm-hmm. But new sets or expansions usually always starts with the idea, obviously, oh, what do we want to do? How do we want to handle it? And then we go into the actual meat of it, which is we start the development of cards. Fun fact, if you want to help us with playtesting, if you join our Discord, you can find it on playroyaltcg.com. Join our Discord. We have a playtesting section for anyone, prefer mature audiences, and you have to be over 18 to join our Discord. But anybody's welcome to join our playtesting, even if you're inexperienced or an experienced player with TCGs or with Royal TCG. But we go through the playtesting process for any of the new cards that we want to develop. And during that playtesting, we're also working on some of the cards that are going to show up in the expansion. We start taking commissions about halfway through when we're closer to finish with the expansion. That way, people don't have to wait as long for the card. After all the artwork is finished and we've confirmed everything, we move into manufacturing and production. And then once we get that back, we hand pack every single booster pack, and then we get things out to people.
Not fun. It's not fun.
It's not, but it's rewarding. It's rewarding to see everybody excited.
I can see both sides of that coin right there. All the effort, but also all the joy of seeing the joy of others opening it.
It breaks my heart a little bit seeing people open booster packs, because I'm like, oh, I just spent 3 weeks of my life sealing all those and making all those and handpicking all the cards that go into those.
And then they just tear it open.
Tear it open, throw it in trash.
Speaking of, I noticed that you have a specific tier built into each and every pack, as opposed to normal packs like Pokemon or what have you, where you have to do a little bit more effort. Why did you go with that design?
That actually was our second iteration. Our first booster packs,
they were not good.
They
were okay. They served their purpose.
They didn't have a tearing section, and we personally, when I'm ripping packs, it's nicer if there's already a tear mark. So we went ahead and designed the packs to have a tear mark, and then we did the extra work on every single pack using a rotary blade and made it so that it tears straight across. That way people don't damage their cards, and it's a little bit easier for everybody to open their packs.
Interesting. If you each had to pick one card that was your favorite to date, which card would it be? Lazuli, you go first.
Magic Attack Marco.
That's fair.
Specifically Magic Attack.
Let's see. For me, I'm torn. I'm gonna put two out there because I do think they're actually tied. I would have to say Adventurer Kamani and Mechis from the first set. I really enjoyed doing the artwork for that one.
Really? Not the holographic Anna?
I do really like the Anna card too. But if it had to come down to picking my favorite out of all the sets, I think it'd be between those two.
Interesting. For me, I would go with the Crescent from the Wicca Artist Support Bundle.
Oh yeah, the Magic Attack Wicca. Or Magic Attack Crescent, yeah.
He did such an amazing job. They did an amazing job? I'm sorry, Wicca. I apologize. I don't remember.
You mentioned earlier about YCH cards. How are they used?
The YCH cards can actually be used at any time during the game. It adds a sense of skill expression. Each YCH has a different type of YCH. There's currently 5 in the game. There will be more in the future, and there's also going to be things that change how YCH cards work. But essentially, you can play your card at any time. Let's say you're losing a battle, and you don't want your opponent to win. This is where like a Snacks YCH card would come in, which has a 0 marker. We call that the petty card. It's basically if you're gonna win, I don't want you to win. I'm gonna play this card, and all of the coins go to the kingdom, so no one gets paid.
And you can use your YCH at any time during a battle. It doesn't, any time during the game. It doesn't have to be just your battle against someone else. If you see someone that's gonna get a lot of money, and you're just like, I don't want that, that's when you would place the 0 YCH and like, none of you are getting that.
Adds a lot of chaos.
Very interesting. How many players can one deck support?
2 to 6. You only need 1 deck for 2 to 6 people.
So you're saying this is a fairly budget-friendly game to get into?
I think so. Not everyone needs a deck to play, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was one of the things we designed early on, was we want everybody to be able to play on the one deck so that it feels like a tabletop game or a party game. Because it's always fun playing Pokemon or Magic, but it's not fun if they don't have a deck, or you have to lend them a deck, or they have to go buy a deck. So it's a lot of, the entry fee is a little bit high for some games. With this, $135 deck and you're ready to go. Everybody can play.
Epic. Now with the current set, Galaxy Port, Popstars, and Pirates. You came out with a CD for it. What's the inspiration behind the CD?
So Galaxy Port, Popstars, and Pirates actually has a bit of lore to it that we'll be releasing in the lore book that's coming later. Well, the current lore book is out, but there's going to be a short novel version that actually has a story to it. Popstars and Pirates takes place at Galaxy Port, and there are pop stars in the story. And one of the main groups, is called Anchor. We had some amazing talent within the furry community that we reached out to in Hoppo and Mars. And they were willing to sing the songs that we had created for the universe and the world. And since we were going to do that, my brother also handles music. He's a composer and he works on different small soundtracks and music. But he's put together all of the music for our game. And the soundtrack was basically a collection of some of the custom melodies, since we do offer custom melodies as well. It's some of the custom melodies, his own original music for the game, and the Anchor songs, which there are 2 on the soundtrack, and a pirate shanty.
Ooh. Any plans to continue with this trend that you have established in the future?
Yeah, with every single expansion, we're actually going to release a chapter of the light novel as well as a soundtrack that correlates to it. So it'll have like 4 or 5 songs that go with that expansion and the story at that point. So that way, you're not just getting an expansion and new cards. The cards will be part of a bigger story. You'll be able to enjoy that story and listen to the soundtrack.
Feel more immersed, like you're along with the adventure. So when you see the cards and you're looking at the cards, it's not just like, oh cool, these are cards. Why are they here? What are they doing? You actually have a general idea of like what's going on in the world, why it's happening, and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Oh, and a fun note about the lore, we actually leave the lore at least a little bit open-ended on some ends so that you can self-insert your character into this world and this story, and you can put your character right there in the mix as well. And
we have some people who have like they're 18-page documents of their character in the world of royalty.
The lore is already being built. They're getting into it. We want to hold a contest eventually of like just people can submit their lore that they've made. It'd be really fun to see what people have cooked up.
Fascinating. Where can people go to read the lore already established?
So you can find everything on playroyaltycg.com. If you go to the Kingdom section, we have a lore section. We are updating the website as of right this moment. It should be updated pretty soon. You'll also be able to get the lore book and soundtrack. They're bundled together on our website. If you want to support us and the artists and the musicians, everything that you buy on that site pretty much goes right back to giving back to our community and making sure that we can keep doing this kind of stuff. So it's always appreciated.
And then of course, if you just want to listen to the soundtrack as is, we have all of that in a playlist on our YouTube channel.
And Apple Music and Spotify.
The music is now searchable on like TikTok, Instagram, things like that.
Oh, and check out the music video. Oh my gosh, everybody did such a good job.
I watched it quite a few times myself already.
Kame has a little feature on the end part of it.
And he does.
I know with Popstars and Pirates, you actually established it in 2 different boosters. booster bundles anyway. What's the inspiration behind that?
So with booster packs, we separate into 2 different booster packs, but if you mean the actual bundles, we have the Anchor Popstar bundle, which supports the musicians and the soundtrack comes included. And it's just a cool way to get the autographed cards, as all of our Anchor singers, dancers, shout out to Kumba as well and Lazuli, everybody signed on their card that actually shows up in the booster packs, and you can get that whole set plus a print. For our other bundle is the artist bundle, and that's the artist supporter bundle. Every bit of profit goes to the artist that helped with that set. With every expansion, we try to pick up new artists, guest artists. Some senior artists come back and help us. They create their own card or their own characters get put in the game, and they just help us a little bit with the artwork. A huge shout out to all of the amazing artists, but definitely pick up the artist bundle. All of that money goes directly to the artists and allows us to be able to commission and hire more artists within the fandom. Each expansion will have 2 booster packs, and that basically just splits up all of the cards into 2 separate booster packs.
Well, not each expansion.
Oh, you're talking about minis.
There's mini expansions coming.
Mini sets, we'll call them.
Yeah. We don't have a pirate bundle yet, but we are in
There will be
the
one.
process of making the decks. There will be Popstar and pirate decks.
Interesting. So you're saying there'll be more starter decks available in the future?
Yes. Right now, once we're done with the royalty decks, like once those are gone, they're gone. We're not going to be redoing those. They're going to be gone for good. And it's kind of going to be like, you know, the same thing with the Adventurers Guild Nightcrawler packs. Like after a year, we're not doing those anymore. So like once the snacks decks are out, the snacks decks are going to be all gone. So it's like with each expansion, we're going to try to do a new deck. I think with Popstars and Pirates, this is the only time we're going to have 2 separate decks, just because it's a lot to keep up with. For the next expansion, I believe it's going to be 1 deck, and then we're not going to do decks for mini expansions.
Yes, I know this next set, well, current set anyway, Popstars and Pirates, have 91 unique cards in the set. So yeah, there had to be a line drawn somewhere.
Definitely. A lot of cards.
There's going to be more cards in the next big one. More than 91.
Little Easter egg, but there will be over 110 cards, maybe even more than that, in the next expansion.
That's gonna make the collector bugs really happy.
The mini expansion is going to have, I believe, like 30. That's what we're aiming for anyway, only like 30.
The mini sets will be really fun. It'll be our first time we're releasing a mini set, and mini sets are just going to be a small set that in between, just to hold people over until that next expansion gets here, since those come 3 times a year.
What would be the comparison to the mini sets versus the con exclusive sets?
So the mini sets, actually, we kind of took inspiration from the con sets. So we partnered with Further Confusion, and we also partnered with Bewhiskered. And those sets were like so popular, everybody really enjoyed them, and we enjoyed working on them and getting them out to attendees. So we thought it'd be fun to be able to keep up that same smaller pack like that. That's easier to collect, easier for people to put together, and just having a fun theme with it every single time. So our next one will be announced pretty soon, and we'll also have it will open up May or early June.
The mini expansions, they aren't going to be like canon to the universe. They're kind of just like spin-offs.
Yeah, fun little offshoots.
Makes sense. A little what if situation, if you would. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Final question. What was your favorite part of working on royalty to date?
Probably just seeing like how hyped people get when someone opens a booster pack and they pull their own card or they pull their friend's card, because they'll actually like sign that card. We actually had someone at CFF get, I believe it was a Adventurers Guild pack, and they pulled Darian's card. And Darian was actually at that convention, and Darian came by and actually met that person and signed their card for them, and it was a really cool experience to see that. And I know a lot of people have been trading. That's been really cool to see. Like, people around the world are just trading cards and, you know, getting their cards signed by each other and sending them off.
Yeah, you took a good one. That's probably what I was going to lead into as a favorite. Another favorite thing for me probably would be, honestly, I really have been enjoying seeing not just the new people that we meet, but seeing the people who we work with get involved and then just get super excited on what they're working on. Point in case of being like artwork, like some of our guest artists from the latest expansion were just so excited about their card being finished and then them getting it in their hand. And they're just like running around showing everybody, and they're like, yo, I made a card game. I made a card for our official card game. And they were like so stoked. And it's just really fun to be able to provide opportunities to people. I think that's one of my favorite things that the community like is notorious for, is like here's a chance to do something really cool with some really cool people that you never thought you'd be doing.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people like take time out of their lives and actually like help us, whether it's like packing parties or like coming to a con and helping run the booth for us. It's just really good to get like the community involved because it's a lot for 3 people. It's a lot for 3 people and we can't keep up with it.
I understand. Speaking of, final question. How interactive is the furry fandom to royalty?
Oh, it's almost everything for us. Obviously, she's been in the fandom a long time, and that's where she started. I started my artwork before that, and I've been in and out of different industries and communities. But the furry fandom is where they pretty much gave me my opportunity.
That's where we met.
Yeah, we met. Working on Kiwi Punch Comic got me my first publishing deal, which got me stuff in the industry and taught me a lot. So it's pretty much been everything for me. So it's integral for us that the furry fandom is a big part of Royalty CG. Now, that's not to say everybody isn't welcome. Anime enthusiasts, card game enthusiasts, normies, everyone's welcome with Royalty CG.
Yeah, we have like human characters in the game now. There's demon characters, there's plants. So it's not just furry, which is really nice because it, expands and that people can get like their elf characters or things like that in the game.
Absolutely fascinating. So just because this is a game that was made by furries is not being forever limited to just furries.
Right.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything you would like to plug?
PlayRoyaltyCG.com. Crown Feline everywhere. That's me.
If you haven't already, subscribe to Kame the Turtle, amazing YouTube channel. I found him, and it's been fun watching all the videos and playing catch up. Obviously, play Royalty CG on all platforms, playroyaltycg.com. A huge shout out to everybody who's helped us. That's just been absolutely amazing. We wouldn't be here without all of you helping us. I know that's the usual cliche, but as a small 3-person indie team, we legitimately would be not here. So thank you so much to everybody who supported us, and thank you, Kame, for having us.
Yeah.
Once again, that is Play Royalty CG, not Royal TCG.
Yep, PlayRoyaltyCG.com.
If you want to get any cards for yourself, feel free to use my discount code in the checkout. That's capital K, lowercase a, M-E, underscore, capital T-U-R-T-L. That's Kame underscore turtle for up to 10% off on the majority of orders. Charity packs and artist bundles are excluded from the discount. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, it's free game for up to 10% off on majority of orders. Once again, big shout out to Play Royalty and Crown Feline. Links to their channels will be linked in the description below. And if you want to see the last pack opening I had featuring Royalty Bewhiskered exclusive set, that'll be linked in the cards above and description below. Or if you want to see more of my content in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications when my next video airs. Leave a like, maybe a comment, share this with your friends, family, other furry friends you might know. And we all hope to see you next time. Johnny.